The Witch's Rescue. Once upon a time, there was a princess named Alicia who lived in a magnificent, if isolated, castle. For years, she had lived alone, hidden away from the world. On her 10th birthday, an evil prince had turned her world upside down by taking away her family and friends. In her terror, she had hidden beneath her bed, vowing to never allow anyone to hurt her again. As she turned 18, she had transformed herself. Her luscious golden locks became a dark shade, streaked with ash, and she adorned her once delicate face with wild, ragged lines of charcoal. Her tattered clothes hung loosely around her, remnants of happier times. A red cat was her only companion, echoing her disdain for the world with its hissing. Despite her bleak exterior, deep down, Alicia longed for connection, often wishing for a friend to share the burdens of her heart. As each day passed in isolation, hope turned to resignation. She feared that anyone who might approach her would find her too alarming to bear. Still, she found some comfort in her solitude, where no one expected her to conform or fit a mold. One fateful day, while attempting to tame her wild makeup in front of the mirror, she heard a loud chime resonate throughout the castle. Startled, she snapped her attention to the entrance. With each successive chime, she felt a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Determined to confront whatever awaited her, Alicia approached the door and swung it open, revealing a figure cloaked in shadow. "Who are you? What do you want?" Alicia's voice was both cautious and defiant. The figure pushed back her hood, revealing long black hair and bright, piercing eyes. "I am Lyra, a witch of the forest. I've come to help you." "Help me? From what?" Alicia scoffed, not lowering her guard. "From the darkness that holds you captive. You are not alone in your struggle, Alicia. Your spirit is heavy with pain, but I can guide you toward healing." Before Alicia could respond, a figure rushed from behind her, a distant, haunting familiarity in its features. It was the evil prince, looking just as ominous as the day he had shattered her world. "I have come for you, Alicia," he proclaimed, eyes glinting wickedly. "Your time in solitude is over." Alicia stepped back, her heart racing. "I will not allow you to harm me again," she shouted, a determination swelling within her. Lyra moved in front of Alicia, summoning a radiant light from her hands. "You will not take her," she declared firmly, standing her ground against the approaching danger. With a swipe of her arm, the witch cast a protective spell, creating a barrier that glimmered with energy. The prince smirked, brandishing his sword. "You think your magic can stop me?" "Magic has a power you cannot comprehend," Lyra countered, unwavering. She channeled her energy, summoning vines from the earth that ensnared the prince, binding him in place. "You are no match for the bond of a true friendship," she stated, lending strength to her spell. As the prince struggled against the magic, Alicia watched, filled with an unexplainable warmth that spread through her. With every tremor of his futile resistance, the prince's arrogance faded, replaced by desperation. Finally, the witch unleashed the energy she'd gathered, and a blinding light enveloped the prince, erasing the darkness he carried into the world. When it was over, Alicia felt a weight lift from her heart. She turned to Lyra, whose eyes sparkled with relief. "Thank you," Alicia whispered, feeling a connection she thought lost forever. Lyra smiled softly. "You are stronger than you know, Alicia. Together, we can create a new reality, free from the shadows of your past." From that day forward, Alicia and Lyra forged an unbreakable bond, finding comfort and strength in one another. Together, they ventured out into the world, eager to inspire change and seek new adventures, two souls united against the scars of their past. And so, after years of oppression and sorrow, they walked hand in hand toward the dawn of a brighter future, reveling in the warmth of newfound companionship. Alicia had discovered that she was never truly alone, and together with Lyra, they lived happily ever after. Title: The Witch's Rescue, Part 2. With the evil prince's defeat, Alicia felt excitement and hope pulse through her veins for the first time in years. Lyra, the witch, had introduced her to a world that shimmered with possibilities. Together, they explored the sprawling forests surrounding the castle, lush and vibrant, where wildflowers danced in the breeze and sunlight filtered through ancient trees. Every day brought a new adventure. Lyra taught Alicia about the plants and creatures of the forest. They foraged for berries, brewed herbal teas, and crafted charms that shimmered with the light of the moon. Alicia found joy in these simple acts, feeling herself bloom like the flowers they nurtured. With Lyra by her side, her guarded heart began to soften, and the wounds of her past started to heal. One evening, as twilight descended, casting a purple hue over the sky, Lyra and Alicia sat by a crackling fire in a secluded glade. The sound of the forest surrounded them, and stars began to twinkle overhead. "Alicia," Lyra said, her voice barely audible over the crackling flames, "I wonder what your dreams truly are. What do you envision for your future?" Alicia looked into the depths of the fire, contemplating her response. For so long, her dreams had been shrouded in darkness. "I used to dream of a life free from fear, of laughter and love, but I never thought I would deserve it," she admitted, her voice trembling. Lyra turned to face her, her blue eyes glimmering with compassion. "You deserve everything you wish for and more. Your strength is a gift, one that can inspire change, not just for yourself but for others who feel trapped in their pain." Alicia felt tears prick at her eyes. It's hard to see hope after so many years of sorrow. Lyra reached out, taking Alicia's hand gently in her own. "Together, we can make a difference. There are others out there who need to get rid of their shadows, too. We can empower them to reclaim their lives." The thought resonated within Alicia like the soft beating of wings. Perhaps they could be more than just survivors, they could become beacons of hope. "Yes," she said, her voice growing stronger. "Let's do it. Let us reach out to those who are suffering." And so, driven by newfound purpose, Alicia and Lyra set forth on a journey through the kingdom. They visited small villages where people still whispered of the darkness that had plagued them, sharing Alicia's story and Lyra's knowledge. Together, they organized gatherings by the lakeside, where laughter rang out, stories were shared, and light began to dissolve the lingering shadows. As they traveled, Alicia discovered her own voice and confidence. Her once closed heart blossomed into a thriving tapestry of friendships with the villagers, echoing with joy and mutual support. With Lyra's guidance, she learned that true strength lay not just in conjuring magic but in forging genuine connections that healed not just her brokenness but also those around her. Months passed, and one day they returned to the castle where Alicia had spent so many lonely years. Standing at the castle's gates, she felt both a sense of triumph and nostalgia. This place, once a prison, now held memories of her transformation. Lyra smiled at Alicia, sensing the emotions swirling within her. "You've conquered your past, and now it's time to reclaim this space. We can make it a sanctuary for others just like you." Alicia nodded, her heart racing with the possibilities. Together, they dreamed up plans for the castle, envisioning it filled with life and joy, a haven for those seeking solace and empowerment. They invited people from nearby villages to partake in the transformation, painting walls, planting gardens, and filling the halls with laughter once more. During this journey, Alicia and Lyra continued to grow closer, forging a bond deeper than friendship, one rooted in trust, respect, and an unyielding spirit to face whatever lay ahead. In the evenings, they would sit on the castle's balcony, looking out at the stars, sharing their thoughts and dreams, weaving their lives together like the threads of a rich tapestry. One night, as the moonlight bathed them in silver, Lyra turned to Alicia with a serious yet tender expression. "You've become so powerful, not just in magic but in your heart. I feel so grateful to have met you." Alicia's response came easily. "I could never have found myself without you, Lyra. You've shown me that love and friendship can conquer all darkness." Underneath the shimmering night sky, that magical moment solidified their unbreakable bond. As they leaned closer, their foreheads touching, Alicia felt an electricity in the air, a new understanding blossoming between them. In that instant, they knew they were more than allies, they were soulmates bound by resilient love. And so, Alicia and Lyra continued their journey, embarking on new adventures together, united by purpose and a shared vision of a world where shadows no longer held sway. They had cast aside their fears and insecurities, realizing that true happiness lay in embracing one another and lifting their community. Ultimately, Alicia had transformed not just her own life but the lives of those around her. Together, she and Lyra created a life of love, laughter, and endless possibilities. They lived their days bravely, fulfilling a promise to be beacons for anyone lost in the shadows. And they did, indeed, live happily ever after, and their story continued to inspire others for generations to come. Title: The Witch's Rescue, Part 3. As the vibrant days turned into colorful seasons, Alicia and Lyra's castle sanctuary became a beacon of hope in the kingdom. The formerly desolate halls now reverberated with laughter, and the gardens bloomed with wildflowers planted by villagers' hands. They held gatherings where stories were shared, talents showcased, and bonds forged, a tapestry woven from diverse threads of life. Each month, Alicia and Lyra hosted a festival of healing that attracted people from far and wide. The castle grounds transformed into a lively marketplace filled with stalls offering handmade crafts, delightful treats, and simple, heartfelt wishes for a brighter future. Musicians strummed their instruments, and dancers twirled under the sun, creating a magical atmosphere that intoxicated all who attended. One such festival was approaching, and excitement buzzed in the air. Alicia, with Lyra by her side, planned a special event, a storytelling circle that honored each person's journey, celebrating their triumphs and their scars. They believed that sharing personal stories could remind everyone that they were not alone, that healing was possible. As they prepared, a swirling wind swept through the castle courtyard, carrying with it whispers of the world beyond. During one afternoon while arranging flowers, Alicia felt a tingle of unease brush against her heart. "Lyra, do you feel that?" she asked, glancing toward the horizon where dark clouds loomed. Lyra, who was lighting candles for the upcoming festival, paused and lifted her gaze. "Something stirs beyond the edge of the forest, something ominous." Her brows furrowed with concern. "I'll investigate. Stay here and prepare for the festival." But Alicia shook her head, determination flickering in her eyes. "No, I'll go with you. Whatever it is, we should face it together." With a nod, Lyra agreed, knowing their strength lay in unity. They ventured into the heart of the forest, the familiar paths shrouded in darkness as the clouds gathered above. The vibrant colors of the flowers dulled, replaced by an eerie stillness. As they moved deeper, Alicia felt the weight of old fears looming, but alongside Lyra, she felt emboldened. Suddenly, they came upon a clearing where a group of villagers gathered, their faces pale and anxious. They spoke in hushed voices, casting wary glances toward a shadowy figure standing defiantly at the edge of the clearing. The air crackled with palpable tension. "What's happening?" Alicia asked a familiar villager named Mavis, who stepped forward. "It's the remnants of the evil prince's followers," Mavis replied, trembling slightly. "They've come seeking vengeance, claiming you've wronged them by taking this land. They are led by a sorceress, someone just as wicked as the prince himself." Before Alicia could respond, the sorceress stepped forward from the shadows, clad in robes that seemed to absorb the surrounding light. Her hair was wild, with eyes burning like embers. "You dare to defy the legacy of your oppressor?" she hissed. "You will pay for his demise." Lyra raised her hands, forming a protective barrier around Alicia and the villagers. "We will not allow you to instill fear in this place. The wisdom of unity will prevail over your darkness." Alicia's heart raced, but she stepped forward beside Lyra, conviction in her voice. "We stand for a kingdom of hope, not fear. Your past cannot dictate our future. You have the power to choose a different path." The sorceress sneered, her disdain palpable. "You think your words hold power over me? You've merely replaced one tyrant with another." With a flourish, she conjured dark tendrils of energy, launching them toward Alicia and Lyra. In that moment, the duo stood strong, their combined magic blossoming into a radiant shield. The darkness hit, but the light glimmered and absorbed the attack, sparking a blinding brilliance that sent shockwaves through the clearing. "Now, feel the strength of community," Lyra shouted, channeling energy from the villagers, who had gathered courageously around them, rallying together to support their newfound leaders. Mavis and others linked their hands, forming a circle. Their collective strength pulsed like a heartbeat, fueling Alicia and Lyra's magic. "We stand together," they declared, and their voices filled the air. The sorceress faltered as the energy surged against her. "You think this will last?" she spat, but uncertainty crept into her demeanor. "No one stands alone anymore," Alicia retorted, her voice resolute. "Together, we've built a new legacy." With that, Lyra and Alicia released their combined power into a radiant beam that cut through the darkness, enveloping the sorceress. The cacophony of voices grew louder as the villagers poured their will into the light, filling it with warmth and love. As the beam made contact with the sorceress, she staggered back, disbelief flooding her features. In her final moments of resistance, the sorceress uttered a cry of rage, but it was swallowed by the luminous energy that enveloped her. A moment later, she dissolved into a cascade of sparks, the darkness retreating, leaving only a gentle breeze in its wake. As the village erupted in a roar of joyous celebration, Alicia turned to Lyra, tears of relief and happiness streaming down her face. "We did it. We really did it." Lyra wrapped her arms around Alicia, holding her tightly. "Together, we can overcome anything. You found your voice, and now the world will hear it." Returning to the castle, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement as they prepared for the festival. News of their triumph spread, and the storytelling circle became a sacred space for all to share their fears and victories. Alicia spoke of the battle they faced, urging others to embrace their own power. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting hues of gold and lavender across the sky, Alicia took the center stage. "We have conquered not just the darkness without, but the shadows within ourselves. Let us celebrate our strength, our compassion, and the bonds we share." The villagers cheered, their hearts swelling with pride and resilience. Music soared, dances thrived, and laughter echoed through the halls of the castle, now a refuge of light. Amid the festivities, Alicia and Lyra carved out a moment together, stepping into the garden illuminated by lanterns. The air was thick with the sweet scent of flowers, and the stars twinkled overhead as if joining in their celebration. Alicia turned to Lyra, her gaze sincere. "You've been my guiding light through all this. I couldn't have asked for a better partner." Lyra smiled softly, brushing a strand of hair from Alicia's face. "And you've become so much more than I could have imagined. You've turned pain into power, showing everyone the importance of love and connection." They leaned closer, their hearts swelling with unspoken affection. "What shall we conquer next?" Alicia asked with a sparkle in her eye, breaking the momentary silence. "Together, we'll write the next chapter, one filled with transformation, growth, and endless adventures," Lyra answered, her voice warm as she intertwined her fingers with Alicia's. In that moment of unity beneath the stars, they knew their journey was far from over. They had awakened something beautiful not only in each other but also in the hearts of all who witnessed their story. Side by side, they were ready to embrace the unknown, determined to share their love and light with the world. And so, Alicia and Lyra continued, hand in hand, radiating hope and brightness wherever they ventured, creating a legacy that would inspire others to embrace their own journeys. With love as their guiding force, they transformed the kingdom and each other, living together in endless courage, laughter, and the promise of tomorrows filled with joy. Title: The Witch's Rescue, Part 4. As the seasons changed and the festivals continued, Alicia and Lyra found themselves at the heart of a thriving community. Every gathering grew larger, each filled with stories of courage, laughter, and healing. Alicia, once a princess bound by fear, had transformed into a leader whose heart radiated warmth and compassion. With Lyra by her side, she forged deep connections, inspiring change in the hearts of everyone they met. One cool autumn evening, as golden leaves fluttered to the ground, Alicia had a dream that transformed the direction of their work. She envisioned a grand academy, a sanctuary where healing, magic, and knowledge could be shared without judgment. A place where anyone from anywhere could come to learn, grow, and cast aside their own shadows. The next morning, she shared this vision with Lyra. "What if we established an academy here?" a space specifically for those who seek to learn and heal. A community of knowledge and support for everyone? Lyra's eyes sparkled with excitement. That's brilliant, Alicia. We can offer everything from magic lessons to workshops on emotional healing. It can be a hub of empowerment for all, especially for those who've experienced trauma. With renewed energy, the duo rallied the villagers and began laying the foundation for their dream. Alicia leveraged her strategic mind, organizing efforts to transform the castle's many rooms into classrooms, gardens, and spaces for art and creativity. Lyra utilized her magic to bless the land, enhancing it for learning, protection, and growth. They invited healers, scholars, and artisans from surrounding communities. Each person came willingly, eager to contribute. The once former castle that had been filled with echoes of fear now resonated with enthusiasm and hope. As walls were painted, gardens planted, and classrooms established, the academy began to take shape, reflecting the spirit of collaboration and healing that Alicia and Lyra inspired. Finally, the grand opening day arrived, and excitement bubbled over. Banners waved in the autumn breeze, and an air of anticipation hummed through the community. On this momentous day, the villagers gathered in the castle courtyard, their hearts filled with pride. Alicia stood before everyone, her voice strong and clear. Today, we celebrate more than just the establishment of this academy. We are celebrating our triumph over darkness, our collective strength, and our commitment to one another. Every person here has the power to become an agent of change, to heal themselves and help others do the same. As she spoke, Lyra looked around, realizing that they had built something extraordinary together. The community's journey mirrored her and Alicia's, from isolation to connection, from darkness to light. That first step is always the hardest, but together, we can make a difference, Lyra added, stepping forward. Let this academy be a sanctuary, a place to foster creativity and acceptance. Here, let's share our stories, learn from one another, and support the next generation. Cheers erupted from the crowd, and Alicia felt tears of joy fill her eyes. She had come a long way from that lonely princess, and now, she was surrounded by family, chosen, not bound by blood. As festivities continued, with dancing and storytelling flowing freely, something incredible happened. A soft light began to glow from the centerpiece of the courtyard, a magical tree that Lyra had nurtured. Its branches were adorned with flowers shimmering with the essence of hope, each bloom representing the dreams of those who gathered. In that moment, the two women exchanged a look filled with understanding, hearts connected in their shared purpose. This tree was a testament to everything they had fought for and achieved. Months turned into years, and the academy bloomed with life, becoming a renowned institution where people from all walks of life came to learn magic, healing, and friendship. Alicia and Lyra grew not only as leaders but also as partners. They complemented each other perfectly, Lyra's carefree spirit balancing Alicia's strategic mind, their love deepening with each passing day. One evening, after a successful harvest festival at the academy, Alicia led Lyra to the tree that had become a symbol of their journey. With the stars twinkling above them, she turned to Lyra, her heart swelling with emotion. This place, this life, it's more than I ever dreamed of. You've given me the courage to embrace not just my past but my future. Together, we've created magic beyond what I could imagine, Lyra replied, her fingers entwining with Alicia's. This is our home. But there's one more thing I wish to create with you. A new spell? Alicia asked playfully. Lyra smiled, her eyes shimmering like the stars above. A vow, a promise to each other. As Alicia's heart raced, she realized what Lyra was proposing. You mean? Yes. A promise to support, love, and stand beside each other always, through every challenge and every joy. With understanding and love in her eyes, Alicia nodded eagerly. Yes. I promise to stand by you. Underneath the luminous tree, they exchanged heartfelt vows, sealing their commitment with a gentle kiss. The whispers of the night surrounded them, acknowledging their love and the journey they had shared. Years later, as the academy blossomed and their love grew ever stronger, Alicia and Lyra became a symbol of hope that echoed through the kingdom. Their story inspired countless others to embrace their strength and share their light. And so, the Academy thrived, fostering an environment of unparalleled acceptance and love, while Alicia and Lyra solidified bonds not just within the walls but throughout the entire kingdom. They transformed their lives and the lives of those around them, casting away shadows and illuminating the world with their unique magic, a magic that thrived on connection, compassion, and love. And in this radiant glow, surrounded by laughter and joy, they continued to write their own story, side by side, embracing all that life had to offer, living happily ever after, creating an enduring legacy that would inspire generations to come.